Hello. Welcome to Mom Games Badly. There are plenty of moms out there. Excuse me. Plenty of moms out there who are fantastic video gamers. I'm not one of them, but I still enjoy playing. And I hope you'll enjoy hanging out with me while I play. Today we are playing, good Lord, everyone at the reunion from a religious all-girls school is a trans man, and they're hot? Because, by golly, this sounded like fun. And it's, should be less than an hour and a half. Starting recording after like 11 p.m. I felt like wearing black lipstick today because I bought one and I've never worn it for literally anything. And I figure it's coming up on midnight. I'll just ruffle up my hair and put on some black eyeliner and some black lipstick and we'll goth it up a little bit. So I'll make sure to haul the black lipstick out again for when we eventually play, A Date with Death, that sort of thing. Apologies for my voice. The expectorant and the decongestant have not kicked in yet, so it's a little messed up, but I will do my best to smooth it out here. Okay, you are cordially invited. Let's see what the options are first. Text appearance speed. We can move that. Oh, closer to instant. Okay, yes. Auto advance speed. I'll move that up a little bit. Font options. Default fonts. Selexiad. Is this helpful for dyslexia reading? I bet it is. Atkinson hyperlegible. Oh, wow. That's super nice. Let's go for this one. Because it's very pretty. All right, here we go. This looks like a good time. Irene. High school reunion, huh? Never thought I'd see the day. It's been 10 years since you graduated from a private all-girls high school, and you're driving up the freeway to get to the reunion. Oh, I remember my 10th reunion. Not a high school. Yeah, it was the high school reunion. That's right. I showed up, pregnant, as people often do. But I was not expecting to do so at my reunion. But anyway, yeah. So I was not single at the time. So I didn't have the kind of options I think we're about to have here. It's been 10 years since you graduated from a private all-girls high school and you're driving up the freeway to get to the reunion. I went to co-ed public school. Well, not the properly sanctioned and sponsored by the church reunion. The other one. You weren't the greatest student, nor were you the most devout, nor were you the coolest or the most athletic. You were just you. But the one thing you did have was your camera. The coolest and most expensive DSLR your father was willing to buy for you. As a photography nerd, you volunteered to be the person who took the yearbook photos. You ended up knowing everyone in your grade and... Oh, okay. Let's see. Stayed friends with a handful of students, observed them from afar, accidentally stepped on everyone's toes. Ooh, what would be most interesting? You ended up knowing everyone in your grade and... This sounds the most interesting. Accidentally stepped on everyone's toes. Not everyone liked being photographed. And gee, did some of those girls make it painfully clear. Whatever. I ended up okay, didn't I? Going to a religious private school meant I was educated properly, right? Yeah. Like I said, I didn't go to a religious school. My oldest sister did. But I was raised Catholic, so I'm familiar with religious education. Right? Well, I'm going to the not-so-official reunion anyway, or however Elias described it in his email. Sup, fam? I know this is hella last minute. Can you blame me? I run on Filipino time. But our 10-year high school reunion is coming up. I can't be the only... I'll probably bleep some of this. I can't be the only dickless dick who doesn't want to attend that dumb... So... I'm throwing my own get-together at my family's vineyard. Ooh, vineyard. Excellent. Directions linked here. It's basically just an hour-long drive from the actual reunion, so come through if you're down to get wasted. Or, you don't have to get wasted, but come hang out. All y'all queer-ass bitches, I see you. If you know, you know. Sincerely, Elias. Truth be told, I'm not sure what queer means in this context. Or ick. Actually, I'm not sure what the majority of the words he said meant, but I'm just excited to see him. Although I will say I'm not a fan of his swearing. That B word is rather rude. Regardless, I can't wait to be in... Oh, we're awkward. Okay. Oh, I've got to switch it up here. We're like uptight photography person who's awkward. But she wants to be good. Regardless, I can't wait to be an ally. A she-her ally for Elias. Actually, I do wonder about my old classmates. I mean, I do remember. Queen Bee cheerleader, the home ec and Aggie weirdo, Elias the social media hound. He was always the golden boy in high school. Head of the yearbook committee. I'm definitely not still bitter he won that spot over me. Definitely not. Class president for 2 years, honors student. There really was nothing he couldn't do. I've seen him once or twice since we graduated, but not since he fully transitioned. The last time I saw him, he was still reusing the long skirt from our old school uniform as a cover. I think he said it was so he wouldn't have to explain why he looked different or why his voice sounded different. Without that to contend with, there's nothing hiding his natural charisma. Even in his texts, he somehow seems even more confident. It'd be annoying if I wasn't already over the whole rivalry we had before. I'm sure Elias will be happy to see me at the event. Speaking of my old classmates, there was also the home ec and Aggie weirdo. You hummed to yourself, leaning back into the seat. I don't know why I'm suddenly remembering that weird kid who always sat in the back of the class with those dumb little skull-something earbuds. Every time I passed by her, I could hear whatever music she was playing. Seriously, why didn't the nuns do anything about that? Not to mention those lyrics. Give me fuel, give me something. Give me fuel, give me fire. Give me that which I desire. Was that it? Okay. Definitely not appropriate at a religious high school. Oh, we're, oh God, what's the character on Dairy Girls? The girl with the braids who's always reporting the other girls to the nuns. Definitely not appropriate at a religious high school. Well, I guess I do feel a little bad for that kid, though. Everyone in class voted her most likely to be possessed by demons, which was probably a little mean. The worst thing she did was not talk much to anyone, mostly because she always had her head stuck in some book about gardening, cooking, or something like that. And I guess really going all in during home economics and agriculture class, I think everyone freaked out when she was chopping veggies so fast and collecting earthworms. A shiver runs down your spine as that image pops up in your mind. Though, now that I'm thinking about it, I also remember that she also developed breast cancer a few years ago. Poor thing. The chances of developing breast cancer in your mid-20s. I think Elias told me that she opted for a double mastectomy even though they caught it early, but I guess it did the job. Speaking of my old classmates, there was also the queen bee cheerleader. You grip the wheel tight. Scowl. Perfect cheerleader. God's holiest daughter. Gave body and soul to Jesus at every single service. Queen of modest is hottest. Used a tape measure whenever she was around me to prove her dresses were never too short. They were floor length and the school uniform. We all wore the same thing. Why were you giving me crap? Probably thought all the other girls were such sinners that we couldn't help but have pure thoughts about her. Straight from the devil. Not me. Definitely not. Nope. Well, it's not like I'd ever run into her or anything ever again. Is this going to be an enemies to lovers story? I bet that's an option. Hopefully I'll get there soon. I'm sure I'll be ready for whatever comes my way. It's just one weekend. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, sweetie. All right, let me make sure I don't have anything in my teeth. Good. We're just checking. What could possibly go wrong? And why is my lighting so gray? Oh, I see why. Hang on a second. Actually, where am I? You blink a few times and realize that you've been going down a densely packed forest. Nothing looks familiar, and the dirt road ahead of you feels like it's going on forever. Oh boy. As long as I keep driving straight, I'll eventually hit the exit of whatever this is and reach the vineyard, right? Right? After a few minutes of frantic driving and drifting around corners that you should definitely be slowing down at, a shadowy figure appears ahead of you. Your foot slams on the brakes and you somehow stop a few feet in front of the figure. What is that? The figure straightens up, its almond-shaped body, long neck, and fluffy appendages coming into view. It's the most majestic, menacing creature you've ever seen in your entire life. And it looks ready to take on your car in a fight. Cobra chicken! Is that a goose? Is there a lake nearby? What's happening? Where the heck am I? Is a goose supposed to be here? No. Calm down, silly. Elias knows I'm terrible with directions. It must be an elaborate prank. Okay, maybe not. I've got to find a way out of here. With that, you put the pedal to the metal, not caring if you happen to hit the goose. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners. Your car lurches ahead as you whisper frantic prayers to yourself. Finally, a sense of bliss spreads over you as though Jesus himself has taken the wheel. Your foot eases off the pedal and you speed out of the forest without another incident. It's evening by the time you arrive at the vineyard. You're a fair bit later than you expected to arrive. The land is gorgeous and filled with ripe grapes as far as the eye can see. Dozens of alumni are milling about, but there's something unusual about everyone you pass by. I'm in the right place, right? For a high school reunion of an all-girls school? I don't mean to be. What did Elias call me a few years ago? A homophobic cis girl? Yeah, that. Homophobic cis girl. Ha! Figured. Oh, Elias! Hey! How are you? So much better now that you're here. Elias flashes a bright $1 million smile at you. He's been such a kind and friendly person ever since you met him back in freshman year. Aw, you're so sweet. It's been what? 9 whole years since I started using the old he, him, and his for Elias? Gee, I'm such a good ally, right? Because using the right pronouns in your head is what an ally does, right? Right? It's so nice to see you. Glad you could make it. I've always wanted to catch up with you. I'm sorry we couldn't meet up in person in forever. Nah, you're all good. Don't you worry about it. Okay, spill. What the heck is with all these attractive men? What the heck have you been up to this whole time? What the heck are we doing this weekend? the heck are we doing this weekend? We? No. You, my dear friend, are a guest. It'll be a fun surprise. Surprise, huh? Not exactly the biggest fan of those, Speaking of surprises, I don't see any other, girls here at this event. I invited all the gender queer-ish people I could think of. While we're on the topic, how do you identify these days? I didn't get to ask earlier. The same as always, I guess? The silence that follows is very long and very awkward. Oh no, did I see something wrong? Sorry, your apology is cut short by a tiny snort, followed by almost obnoxiously loud peals of laughter. Elias is laughing at you. Wait, Elias is laughing at you? You can feel your face flushing red. What's so funny? You didn't read the email at all, huh? Not sure what to say and growing more embarrassed by the second you pull out your phone and check the email. As you remember, it's full of a bunch of acronyms and slang you can't really understand, but as you take a second to try and analyze it, something slowly becomes very clear. This party was specifically meant for the queer students, and you showed up. You can't seem to get a word out through the stuttering, and Elias is still laughing uncontrollably. What can you say? This is a monumental blunder. I'm sorry. I couldn't understand your slang, so I just kind of skimmed it. You start to worry that he might suffocate if he doesn't stop laughing. Well, it would save you from this awkward scenario. Elias may die, but that's a sacrifice you may have to be willing to make. It's NBD, really. That explains the whole femme thing you still got going on. Whole femme thing? I mean, most of the people here ended up masked, at least partially. I was kind of wondering why you still seemed the same. Pity, though. You'd make a hot guy. You sure you're not one of us? You always did seem to gravitate that way. I mean, I don't think so. Elias shrugs. Well, if you decide to have a gay panic, no better place than here. And it's long overdue, if you ask me. What? Nothing. Our fairest maiden, who is definitely straight and cisgender, is still an honored guest, mostly because I still want photos taken. Gee, thanks. Worry not, my dearest lady. Your presence is both welcome and sought after. Are you sure? Absolutely. Do not fret. As your valiant knight, I will defend your honor against all assailants. Thanks. Don't sweat it. Anyway, now that you're finally here, why don't you go grab some noms and mingle? Grab some noms? Food. Go grab some food, girl. Sheesh. I forgot how bad you are with, oh my God. Elias, don't use the Lord's name in vain. Elias's chuckles subside as he eventually sighs, looking back at all the work that's left to be done. Actually, can I ask you to find Angel for me? Oh, I wonder if it's Angel or Angel. Well, we'll figure it out later. Angel. The name rings a bell. Wait, you mean the agriculture kid? Didn't Elias tell me something about dead names before? If he says that they're still going by Angel, then I guess I'll use that name. Yes, that's Sem. Sem? You're almost certain Elias doesn't speak French. Oh, I don't speak French, so I'm not sure how that should be pronounced. Sem, maybe? I don't know. You know, it's been a couple of years since I've been in touch with anyone else from school. What's, she or he pronouns? Okay, so xi and xem. Xem must be those neo-pronoun things Elias told you about once. But you're not sure why he mentioned two sets of pronouns, and he seems a little too preoccupied to explain it to you at the moment. Right, so what is xi wearing? Green shirt, jeans, suspenders. Because her hair is super iconic. You can't miss it. Right. Angel told me Xi was going to check out the vineyard, so Xi shouldn't be too far from there. Points over in yonder distance. Text me when you find Sem, or if you get lost, all right? Will do. All right, hang on. I'm going to look up how to pronounce this, because I don't want to continue to screw up if I've been doing it wrong. So, pronunciation can vary. While there are common ways to pronounce them, like Z for XE, it's best to ask the individual how they pronounce their pronouns. Okay. You face the direction Elias pointed you in and start walking. The trellises are still a bit of a distance away, but luckily the sun's already set, so it's not nearly as sweltering as it was during your drive. All right, hang on. I'm going to be right back. I desperately need to get more water. I think the decongestant's finally kicking in, so throat's a little dry. The trellises are still a bit of a distance away, but luckily the sun's already set, so it's not nearly as sweltering as it was during your drive. So glad I have working AC in my car. It would be nice if I could just drive up there and find Angel. I have no idea what he means by iconic hair, though. That could mean anything. You sigh and continue making your way toward the fields. At last, you reach the edge of the trellises, the grape-laden vines crawling up their respective poles. You've photographed folks here plenty of times before, but with all the rows looking nearly identical, you hope that Angel hasn't taken too many turns around the place. Angel? Angel? Are you around here? No answer besides the gentle evening breeze. Further in you go. If I get stranded in the vineyard, at least I can subsist off grapes until someone rescues me. I'll be fine. Probably. I'll be fine, right? As your feet take you further into the rows of trellises, you begin hearing the distinct rhythm of an electric guitar dancing with a steady bass, accentuated with the backbone of drums. Did Elias manage to rope a band in for the weekend? I don't recognize who this could be. You pause. Though, would a band practice their songs in the middle of a field? Maybe it's so they don't disturb everyone else. You resume your walk. Following the sounds of the music and noting that it's slowly growing louder and louder. At last, a silhouette appears as you crest over the hill, and with it the source of the music. Their back is turned to you, but from here you can clearly make out a green shirt, suspenders, jeans. Angel? Is that you? The figure sways in tandem to music, unable to hear you above the sick guitar riff. Angel! Angel, can you hear me? Angel, or at least the person you assume to be Angel, continues not to hear your calls from the top of the hill. You can't possibly hope to compete over the sound of the music, so you begin making your way down to him. Angel, we gotta go. Elias sent me to bring you back to the gathering. You're a quarter of the way down the road with no change in the situation. Come on, Angel, let's go. Halfway down the road and still no response. Angel has begun snapping his fingers, but has yet to turn around once. Would be Z's fingers? That is you, right, Angel? You watch as... I thought Angel used neopronouns. You watch as he starts to do a little shoulder shimmy. Yeah, I feel bad about interrupting Sem, but I don't want to wait until it gets even darker and then we have to wade through grapes while it's pitch black out. Angel! You tap Sem on the shoulder lightly. He doesn't notice. I'm literally right next to him. Here goes nothing then. This time, you clasp his shoulder firmly and bring yourself closer to the back of his head. Angel, we need you to come back to the gathering. Angel stops grooving. presses a button on the speaker attached to his belt to pause the music, and slowly turns around at last. Oh, sick tattoos. Whatever words you were going to say next get caught in your throat as your eyes roam across his features. Iconic was definitely the right word for his hair, now that he stood before you. His locks have been tied into low double buns that rest a few centimeters from his shoulders, with little pastel flower baubles above his ears. Yet more flowers sprout from the top of the buns as well, carefully balanced in color and shape. You then partially register the dark circles beneath his eyes that whisper about sleepless nights. But try as you might, your focus drifts downwards toward his open shirt and the tattoos cradling his pecs. Wow, those are bold. There's something so sinful about the angel and devil wing so close to each other. You're aware that you shouldn't be staring so hard, but you can't pry your eyes away. Okay. Angel begins to turn around again, and suddenly your voice returns to you. Wait! You heard me, didn't you? Elias wants us to go back to the gathering. Angel looks you up and down, his expression hard to parse. Yearbook person. Yeah, that was me. Hi. Smooth, like crunchy peanut butter. My name is still Irene. Elias told me you still go by Angel? Always have. Too much trouble changing it. I see. Elias's voice echoes in your head, reminding you of how to be a good and polite ally. My pronouns are she, her. What are yours? She, thee, them, zer, and he, him. Oh, okay. So he, him was fine for the indirect references. That's 2 sets of pronouns, right? Which ones should I use? First ones I like better. I see. You actually don't understand it any more than when Elias told you, but there's more important things at hand at the moment. Anyways, let's get going back before it gets too dark. Okay, I guess. To your relief, Angel heads up the path ahead of you, meaning that you won't have to navigate the fields yourself. You catch up quickly and keep in pace at Sir's side. Goodness, this is beyond awkward. Maybe I have to initiate the conversation? So, how have you been? All right. I think now I'm remembering why hardly anyone hung out with Angel back in high school. She used to be like this, too, back then. Really? It doesn't look like you're getting enough sleep at night with those bags under your eyes. I'm fine. Don't matter how much sleep I get. They've been there since chemo. Oh, is he finally warming up to me? Maybe this is my chance to ask some questions. Chemotherapy did that to you? I did hear that you had breast cancer a few years ago, but I thought you had your, chest removed. Yeah, doctors did a little chemo afterwards, just in case. That's interesting. I didn't know they did that. You two continue walking side by side in silence. Great. That topic didn't last long. What do I say now? I could be boring and ask about work. You know what? I'll be boring and hope we reach Elias and the others soon. So what do you do for work these days? Organizer for a community garden. Take care of the plots when folks forget to swing by. Oh yeah? Also make preserves from what I grow. Jams, jellies, pickles, stuff like that. That's my real business. Oh, that's really neat. So you're like your own boss. Guess so. Gotta keep this conversational momentum going. I actually have no idea what the difference is between jam and jelly. Are they the same thing? Different. Jelly is made with juice, so it's clear. Jam has the fruit in it. You think back to the last time you made yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and try to remember the consistency of the blueberry spread in your fridge. That that have little chunks of blueberries in it? Huh. I never really paid attention to that stuff. Is one better for you than the other? Not really. Huh. You're about to lament the fact that this topic has dried up too, but are interrupted by Angel's next question. You're cis? Her tone is flat, as though that question were more of a statement. Oh. You're cis. Yeah. Elias was surprised too when I caught up with him because everyone else here is not a woman. As far as I've seen. It's a little embarrassing, but I hope it's fine for me to be here. Should be okay. Not everyone is a man either. Elias did say that too. But you're a guy like him, right? Kinda? Angel stops walking and turns to face you. How much do you know? Enough to be a good ally? Angel meets your gaze. You still can't read her expression very well, but you don't think C's mad right now. At least, you hope C isn't. Okay. You feel a bead of sweat run down the back of your neck as Z sighs. Okay. Did I say something wrong? Elias and I are trans-masc, but he's a binary trans man. I'm a non-binary man. Non-binary, like they-them pronouns. Right. Not always they-them, though. Right. The cogs in your brain are stuck. You don't really understand. Elias told you a while ago that most people identified as either female, male, or non-binary, and sometimes a combination thereof, but it was a difficult concept to grasp for you. Angel must see that you're confused, so Z clears her throat. We're both dudes, but that means different things for us. It's like Zer's brow's furrow in concentration. A spectrum, or sliding scale, I guess. Like from 1 to 10? Z considers this for a moment before shrugging. Sure, kind of simplified, but it works for now. I think I understand a little better. So you're like a 7 on a dude scale? Sure. Angel resumes walking, and so do you. Thanks for explaining it to me. I think I'm getting a better idea of how that works. Welcome. I guess all that talking must have worn them out. So if gender is like a spectrum, then people who are assigned a gender at birth and are fine with that are less likely to be trans? Usually. You breathe a sigh of relief. Angel raises an eyebrow. I guess there won't be any former cheerleaders here? You eye your outfit. Your skirt stops just above the knee. Nothing out of the ordinary for most, but would have been scandalous at your school. A scandalo. If Ms. Queen Bee was here, I'd give her a piece of my mind for once. Don't know if they have beekeepers here. Disrupting the peaceful vineyard grounds, a luxury car adorned with a huge decal of a sexy anime boy version of Satan skids into the parking lot. Nope. The vehicle, zigging and zagging like someone playing Grand Theft Auto, finally parks, taking up 3 spaces. Rude. The door of the car swings open and out steps. Lucifer Satan 69420. Angel, it's the ASMR I'm your mean boyfriend guy. You look around, but Angel's long gone. Liam, checking his reflection in the mirror of his car, grabs a skateboard adorned with the flames of hell. He throws it to the ground, hops on, and starts filming a video. Doesn't bother to look where he's skating. Hail Satan, demon followers. Just got tossed out of my official high school reunion. Why? Because your boy Liam told the truth to every single husband of those girlies. Anytime I caught him eyeing me up, got in their face and hit him with, "You gay." Transphobic as fuck, those straights. Wait, The Liam went to our school? Who was he? Liam finally looks up from his phone. His eyes land right on you. Looks you up and down as he directs his skateboard right at you. You blush. A social media star is checking you out. Liam stops inches away from you. Oh no, he's hot. Sinfully hot. Even more than in his videos. You attempt to speak, but sentences don't come easy in the radiating glow of Liam's hotness. He smirks. Oh my god, gosh. He could do whatever he wanted to you right now and you'd thank him for it. What are you, a nun? Your brain freezes. What? Liam reaches into his pocket and pulls out a tape measure. He extends it and holds from your waist to the end of your skirt. Wait, it can't. Where's the modesty before the Lord? Realization hits you harder than the stone that killed Goliath. It's the queen bee. Your brain breaks. The person who was once no skin, all God has become all skin, all sin. All the responses, comebacks, and perfectly formed speeches you fantasized about telling this person have gone out the window. He's not sinfully hot. No way. Nope. Not him. Liam chuckles at your shocked expression. I'm honored. I had no idea you were one of my demon followers. I would have slid into. I do not follow you. Occasionally, some of your videos get recommended to me. Some. Barely ever happens. Ever. Liam outstretches his hand and flips the middle finger at an approaching Elias. Liam? I thought sissies weren't invited. Only reason I bothered to show up. Elias puts his hand together, a calming gesture. Lord, give him strength to deal with this unholy terror. She follows me, yet didn't know I yeeted my tits. Her algorithm must be homophobic. Not everyone sees every single video. She probably. But she's a fan. She wants to see everything. Liam shamelessly stretches a leg up into the air as far as possible. You try not to take it in, but it's too majestic. She didn't need to see your trans man masterclass. Best online. You came out 2 years ago. Exactly. I figured out my shit in a quarter of the time most of these dudes do. Elias takes a deep breath. It would not be a good look to punch one of the guests. You step forward, getting right in Liam's face, determined to stop this menace to society. Elias asked me to be here. I've photographed this place hundreds of times. All right, I'm going to turn the music down a bit. This is a bit much. All right, that should work all right. I photographed this place hundreds of times. Still hiding behind that camera and getting paid for it? Aren't you lucky? Liam steps even closer to you, an inch from touching. If Liam wasn't glaring daggers at you, his face would be in your tits. The two of you stare each other down. Liam tosses his skateboard to the ground. I'll allow you in. Allies are so important. Liam flips Elias off again and skates toward the main arrival area. Elias puts on his best, oh God, please don't judge us all for this man's smile. All right, we're going to turn this down a little bit more still. He wasn't weird to you or anything, yeah? Are you okay? You nod, but you aren't paying much attention. Thoughts race through your head. Did I just tell off the queen bee? I mean, king bee? I did. And he walked away from me. You haven't felt this empowered in years. You almost pump your fist in the air until you're hit with a horrible thought. But what if that was his plan? to make me think I beat him. He's probably got some big plan to mess with me this weekend. I won't let him. You glare at Liam, at his smug face, not at his very, very, very short shorts that without him needing to bend over show off a healthy bit of underbutt. Not that at all. Underbutt, that's a new one. I hadn't heard that before. Underboob, yes. Underbutt, no. After a night of taking snapshots from behind your camera of the mostly happy reunions, you retire to your room on the first floor of the vineyard house. It's pretty nice, except for a water stain on the ceiling. You'd worry about what would happen if it rains. Except you can't stop thinking about Elias, Angel, and Liam. The conversations with them keep running through your mind. How couldn't they? The surprise of everyone being trans at the reunion can't match how drawn you are to the three of them. You know you're supposed to focus on just taking photos, but maybe, if you have the time, of course, you'll try and chat with them all again. The next morning, the sun shines down on the lake. You snap photos of the guys mingling. Did the font just change? Some sit on picnic blankets. Others partake in the bounty of available food. With the reintroductions out of the way, they're all just getting to chill, to be themselves and to relax. Not Elias, though. Elias scampers around, checking to make sure everyone's having a good time. You can barely get a picture of him when he's moving so fast. And is he taking selfies with everyone and posting them to social media? Your rivalry is over. Your rivalry is over. Yeah. Like here's the font for my name even has changed. Anyway, your pictures will be much nicer. You look around and spot Angel. I actually didn't get a chance to say bye to Angel last night when Liam made an entire scene. I wonder if Sia's all right. You approach Angel, who is dutifully laying out her blanket a little further away from the lake edge. Hey, Angel. How you feeling this morning? I'm good. Z smooths out the blanket before sitting down, as if testing the ground, and looks up at you. You? Oh, Z's inviting me to chat. I'm doing good, too. I was worried about you last night since you kind of disappeared. Didn't want to deal with that guy. That guy? Angel points past you, and when you look around, you see none other than Liam kicking open a window on the second story of the lodge. This man is an utter menace. Oh, yeah, that's completely fair. Z lays down, yawning before stretching out. It doesn't seem like Z has much else to say, so you give a polite nod. Hail Satan! Liam launches out of the second-story window on his skateboard. No helmet, no pads, just a streaking comet of smugness with a phone in hand to capture it all. Landing on the roof, Liam hurtles toward the edge. Eyes not toward his possible imminent death, but laser-focused on one thing. You. Just before he goes flying over the edge, Liam executes a perfect kickflip. The board spins under him. If he doesn't land this, his skinny legs will be snapped in half. You raise your camera and snap a photo. Not because he looks cool, at all. Bam! He perfectly lands and the skateboard hits the ground inches away from Angel. Angel does not react. Liam easily avoids Angel and skates on, eyes locked on you. Don't look impressed, don't look impressed, don't look impressed. Liam winks at you. Crap. Liam turns his attention to his phone, addresses his followers in a low, judgmental voice, full ASMR I'm your mean boyfriend mode. Hey, you were watching that, right? What else would you be doing? You know who I did that for? The one person I was thinking of? It wasn't you. Why would it be? I did it for someone way more important. Liam absent-mindedly traces a finger along his lips, points to himself. I don't do this for you. You know why you'll never date me? Because I stay winning. And if I don't, why would you even want me? Pathetic. This demotivational speech has you fuming. 10 years and he hasn't changed one bit. Well, he's changed a few bits, but he's still so... You aggressively raise your camera and start taking photos of anything that isn't Liam. As you watch mostly everyone having fun together, your thoughts drift to who you want to spend time with. Okay. Honestly, Elias seems like the most personable person. Elias should know what's going on. You look around for the man responsible for this whole ordeal, but you don't see any sign of him anymore. Did he leave already? No, wait. You squint, looking around at the groups of people dotted here and there along the shore of the lake, and you finally notice something off. A distortion, like motion blur or a shadow moving across the water. It's Elias. Flitting between the groups like a busy hummingbird, he seems to be checking in on everyone, even after taking selfies. Guess he just doesn't know how to sit still. Maybe if I put out some flowers, he'll pay me a visit too. Couldn't hurt, right? You hope so. The embarrassment of your realization the night before is still fresh in your mind. It feels like everyone's looking at you. Even though you can see they're all too busy looking out at the lake. You shake off the thought and glance around as the sun is right in your eyes. But you can still see the beautiful scenery reflecting off the water. What a nice day. There's not too many people around, but a lot of prime spots have already been claimed. You manage to find a decent spot right next to the water, in the shade of a large oak tree. It's strange that no one took this spot already. You lay out your checkered picnic blanket on the grass, then start taking out the food items from your basket. Finger sandwiches of different kinds, stacked neatly on a white plate, a bowl of watermelon cubes, a bottle of chilled white wine, all carefully prepared for an elegant lunch. Did I take too much? The blanket is covered in a good number of things that you pulled out from your giant basket. It's clearly too much for one person. Maybe even too much for two people. What exactly were you planning to do with this much food? Were you expecting a gentleman caller? You shake your head to banish the thought. Is there a bee or something? Huh? Elias is suddenly standing next to you. You could have sworn he was still with another group in the far distance just a second ago. You were swatting your hand around. Oh, was I? You quickly tuck your hands under your skirt. I was just thinking that I grabbed too much food is all. Can't argue with that. This is giving real rich people tea party vibes right now. I just like little finger sandwiches, okay? A dainty snack for a dainty lady, or a lady with dainty tastes. Are you saying I'm not dainty? Wow, how rude. Faux enraged, you grab one of the sandwiches. Dainty and perfectly suited to your aesthetic, thank you very much. And hurl it at Elias's head, throw it in the lake. Think better of throwing it even though you really want to. Boom. Elias dodges it with ease. The startled expression on his face is satisfying at least. Ah, there's the Irene I know. Humph. Elias's hearty laugh is cut short by the sudden arrival of an unruly goose. The haunting slap of the goose's creepy little feet across the grass ripples through the crowd, their attentive looks turning into panic. The goose is beelining right for you and the sandwich behind Elias. The goose of the forest. Oh, God. Elias's words have devolved into little more than desperate mumbling, and his fingers twitch in midair like they might be able to grasp the invisible solution to this problem. Beep! Elias practically jumps out of his skin as the goose lets out its horrifying honk once more, charging toward the picnic basket. Ah! Run! In a masterful display of confident adulting, Elias practically dives behind you, his shaking hands gripping the back of your cardigan. You stare down the charging goose. Flashes of the confrontation from the night before flicker through your mind. The goose had come out of nowhere, startling you in the dense, dark forest. Charging at you now. Well, in broad daylight in the middle of a field, you can see. It's just a goose. You can't deny its horrifying visage and rude temperament are things to reckon with, but this goose will not win this day. Now's your chance to reclaim your honor and protect Elias, or something. You stand up preparing for your glorious battle. Stare down the goose, surely it'll back down. Straight up grapple the goose, it's smaller than you. Forfeit your sandwiches to the goose. Go win the war. Hard choice to make, knowing that you will lose this battle, but all that bread will certainly win you the war. There's nothing else to be done. I must forfeit the sandwiches to protect my damsel in distress. Is that okay to say? I mean, he kind of is filling the role right now. You'd say that about a cis guy in the same situation. Oh, whatever. There's more pressing matters to attend to. Take this! You pick up the whole platter of sandwiches, throwing it over the goose's head. Bits of turkey and tiny splatters of mayonnaise glitter in the afternoon sun. A surprisingly graceful chaos of sandwich ingredients promising salvation. The goose's attention is fully locked on the display. The goose reels back to chase the scattered sandwiches, waddling away with terrifying speed. Okay. Looks like that'll keep it occupied for a while. Is it gone? Elias finally scoots out from behind your legs, watching the retreating form of nature's most evil bird. Yes, the goose is gone. You can stop cowering now. How? How did you get the goose to leave? He's so startled he doesn't even take offense to your subtle jab. It's not that subtle. Goose just wanted a sandwich. As long as you don't look like prey, it probably won't attack, right? I mean, I guess so. Geese are super territorial, though. There's definitely an alternate universe where it ate your face. You roll your eyes, desperately trying to force down the image that pops into your head. Yeah, just sit down and eat some sandwiches with me. You drag him by the wrist to sit down next to you and put a fresh sandwich in his hand. Thank you. You smile. No problem. Now please eat some of this stuff. I don't want to awkwardly bring it back. Elias looks surprised for just a beat, but he quickly lets out an awkwardly loud laugh. It's a beautiful thing. Wait, no, a nice thing. That's what you meant. He makes his face light up and relax in a way you haven't seen in years. Yeah, you're just worried about it. That's it. As you're about to grab some of the watermelon for yourself, you notice that there's still a bit of mayo dripping down Elias's hand. Before you get the chance to think better of it, you grab his hand, Irene, and lick a smooth stripe up the back of it, scooping up all of the misplaced condiment. Not really something you should do without consent. It's only after several very long, very awkward seconds have passed that you realize what you did and glance up to see Elias's very red face. What the heck are you supposed to say now? Oh my, how bold. I didn't? Elias is grinning now, though his face is still red. My, this good Christian girl has such scandalous impulses. Whatever shall we do with her? Fully recovered Elias will definitely remember this forever. Just eat your stupid sandwich. You shove it into his face, but even the piece of slightly wilted lettuce sticking to his cheek doesn't dim his mood. Of course. I must lead by example so that you may find the path to the light. You should have let the goose have him. With no other choice left, you get up and flee from your blanket before Elias can get another word in. You're debating whether to abandon your entire lunch and seek shelter in your room from the embarrassment when you hear Elias and Liam are arguing in the distance. For the last time, no, you can't kickflip the goose of the forest. Not with that wimpy attitude. You decide to ignore that. You also hear Angel somewhere? Whoa! What in the fresh heck? Is that actually Angel? I can't tell if Angel is like trying to do a dinosaur noise or like if he heard himself. You look around and finally spots him. Angel is busy yelling, clapping, and stomping at the goose, who is doing an uncannily accurate impression of a human glare in return. It seems he is trying to keep the goose away from the sandwich remains. I guess he's protecting the goose in their own unique way. Immediate danger to yourself and the wildlife satisfactorily avoided, you decide to run back into the lodge to get a break from the heat. Yeah, that's why. Some time to yourself in the lodge has given you a little clarity. At least, that's what you'd like to say. The reality is you've done nothing but stare out the window and daydream since you got back to your room. What even is going on with me this weekend? It's like being around my high school classmates is dragging me right back to how I felt during high school, too. You instinctively shake your head to will away the memory of those thoughts from long ago, but something gives you pause. Your window has a beautiful view of the lake. Elias was right, it really is romantic. But down by the tranquil shore, you spot a few different figures. Liam is on the dock, probably attempting to kickflip a boat or something ridiculous like that. I would love to see that smug prick try to pull that off, though. Angel is just barely in view, wading up to her knees at the edge of the lake to examine some cattails on the border of the lake. Oh yeah, cattails can be an invasive species, like a purple loosestrife. I know he's more knowledgeable about plants than me, but I'm still worried that he's going to try to eat one. He must want to. They look like forbidden corn dogs. But in this lovely scene, one person is nowhere to be seen. Elias. It's not like you were looking for him or anything. But among all these strong personalities, his is noticeably absent. Can't hide from him the whole weekend, can I? You definitely can't. So what? I should go find him. It's kind of pointless to throw a whole separate reunion party if you don't even get to enjoy it, right? I think the only time I've ever seen him relaxed was earlier at the picnic. And he was being terrorized by the goose just before that. I'll go find him. With renewed resolve and a bit more clarity, you grab your camera bag and head out. You expected to be looking for a while, but you find Elias fairly quickly, flitting around a group of people playing volleyball in a field. You're not entirely sure what he's doing, but one thing is clear. He's back to working. Again. You stifle the embarrassment threatening to well up inside you, adjust your skirt, and begin strutting with what you believe is more of a CEO power walk to the target of your concern-based ire. Elias? He jumps ever so slightly and turns to look at you. His smile is normal. The only thing different is the faint dusting of red across his cheeks. Oh, hey, Irene. I was wondering which ghost nabbed you. It was a little warm by the lake, so I just went to cool off in my room for a minute. You're not going to ask about the ghosts? I think that's a can of worms I'd rather not open. Besides, they'll probably show up in some of my photos if they're there, right? Boo, you're no fun. Yeah. Just harshing my vibes all over the place. I get it. Throwing off my most royal of grooves. One more and I'm going to find the ghosts and send them after you. All right, fine. What's up? Did you need something? Just you. That came out wrong. Lord above, that came out so wrong. You clear your throat as you scramble to think of something to say while Elias's smile shifts dangerously close to a smirk. I was hoping you could help me set up a backdrop for some portraits. Oh, yeah, I can do that in a bit. Does he look disappointed? What you thinking for the backdrop? Well, since we've driven off the goose, I thought some shots in front of the lake might be nice. Oh, yeah. Nice lighting, pretty water, very romantic, very gay. I will come help you with that in... He checks his watch. Exactly 1 hour and 42 minutes. Scratch that. 1 hour and 45 minutes. I forgot to account for Liam's upcoming kick-flipping attempt. I know it's coming. Yep, as expected, he's completely overbooked himself. What are you working on right now? Huh? Oh. The catering staff need to get tables set up out here for the morning. These guys are still playing volleyball, so I'm trying to figure out somewhere else to put the tables. Oh, well, that explains why he was just awkwardly flitting around them. Or just tell them to play somewhere else? I don't want to harsh their vibes. That's criminal. This event is way too cool and chill for such unexpected inquisitions. You give him your best impression of done with your crap. It's a vineyard. There's literally miles of fields where they can play. But you take a deep breath. Is that how you're going to treat the gracious knight who protected you from the attacks of the most evil of geese? Elias's face turns a little redder. Volleyball players do not seem to notice. But And whose tongue gently saved you from mustard-related disgrace? Well, that got the volleyball players' attention at least. One of the players, who is about to receive the ball, gets hit full in the chest and falls over with a loud oof. Irene? Yes, Elias? Your face is beginning to heat up a little, but throwing Elias off his game is pretty worth it so far. Elias goes through a portfolio reel of emotions and finally lands on pressing his palms together and taking a deep breath. Okay, fine. If you promise that you will never say those words again, I will bump your backdrop request up on the list. All right. Just let me figure out the tables. You lean around him to address the volleyball players. Hi there. Sorry for the interruption, but would you mind moving your game elsewhere? The Haikyuu hopefuls shuffle about, feet scuffing bits of sand around as they glance between each other's. Their collective gaze eventually lands on the super tall player nearest to the net, who's probably the captain of one of these teams. Volleyball player. Sure. Sorry, we didn't see you there. He scratches his neck awkwardly. The player who got hit in the chest struggles to his feet. He had the wind knocked out of him, but he seems no worse for wear. Well, aside from the leaves in his hair. No worries. There should be plenty of space down by the lake now that everyone's done eating. Okay, we'll get going then. You quickly untie their net and shuffle as one awkward herd toward the lake. You turn back to Elias. There. All good. That was horrifying. What the hell? You give him an extra girly giggle. Don't cross me. Elias straightens up, saluting you. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's go to work on that backdrop, shall we? But what? There's still some stuff that needs tending to. You promised. Besides that, you have a bunch of staff here. I'm sure they can handle it. No, I have to. What did I just say? Elias. We're like secret top. I gotcha. You smile serenely, loving the way it visibly puts him a little bit on edge. Yup. Kind of bratty, though. Come on. I need you for this. If you don't come along, I'll be forced to drag you. Okay, there's no way you can. Too late. You grab a fistful of his lapel and start dragging him off to the lake, just as promised. Wait. Irene, it wasn't a challenge. You hum happily, dragging him along as he stumbles here and there on the uneven ground. What happened to the cute picnic girl? I want her back. Cute picnic Irene is not here right now. Please leave a message and she'll get back to you in a bit. Why? It's a short walk, and halfway through Elias has given up trying to wiggle his lapel free from your death grip, trained by years and years of protectively clinging to your expensive DSLRs. Oh, well, fair. You're not sure what the plan is from here. You'd made up the backdrop excuse on the fly, and now you need to actually make one. Yeah, the grammar is great here. It's almost impeccable, I would say. There's a bit of things where you have like towards instead of toward when you don't need to, but it's not like exactly wrong. But the spacing is like, what? I think it like accidentally, the coding accidentally changed like dashes to apostrophes. I don't know. It's all right, though. You've been slacking a bit in your photo taking for various reasons. Like the goose. Yeah, the goose, nothing else. As you're walking toward the lake, a couple things catch your eye. First, your picnic basket is still sitting under the tree right where you left it. It seems like someone put the food back inside for you. Second, some canoes are tied up at the dock posts. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Drag Elias over to the tree, pick up the picnic basket, then make your way over to the dock where you finally let go of him. He straightens his shirt with a scandalized expression. Okay, now that you've successfully terrorized at least a dozen people, what's the plan for the backdrop? You point out the canoes. I was thinking we could have people sit in the canoe, maybe put some flowers or string lights around it. It'll look pretty with the water reflections in the evening. Oh, yeah, that'll be hella nice. Do you have some stuff already? I think we have some string lights somewhere, but... Oh, I've got some in my picnic basket. You know the only thing in there is an unpleasantly warm variety of sandwich pieces and watermelon, but Elias doesn't need to know that. I'll need to pick some flowers, but I'll wait until the evening so they're fresher. Plus, Angel would probably be better at that anyway. Here. You hand him the basket. Hop into that canoe there and start stringing up the lights. Just loop them nicely around the inside edge. Cool. How are you going to power them? They're battery powered. Coolio. I'll get on that then. What are you going to do? I'd like to scout out the flowers so I know what my options are. Should only take a couple minutes. Okay. Satisfied with your random answers, Elias utilizes the dock ladder to climb down the few feet to the canoe. You'll have to work fast. You not so subtly slide over to the docking rope, tugging at the thick knot around the post. It's rather tight. Clearly no one has untied it in some time. Still, you manage to loosen it with some concerted effort. Out of the corner of your eye, you see that Elias has dug to the bottom of the basket. His attention is elsewhere. You finally free the rope and toss it aside. Hey, Irene? I can't find the lights. Are you sure they're in here? They should be. You keep your tone carefully neutral. Hang on, I'll jump on and look. And jump on you do. Maybe a bit too quickly. You lose your footing a little as you step hard into the boat, but Elias catches your arm to steady you. Whoa there. Watch your step. Skirts ain't made for swimming. You manage to regain your footing just enough to take a seat on the bench across from Elias, albeit with more force than intended. The boat rocks a little, but it stabilizes quickly. Heh, oops. Haven't had to get in a boat for a while. Did you used to get in boats a lot? I've been canoeing a few times. My dad really liked it. Huh. You never mentioned that. You got any other secrets in there? Master angler, drill sergeant? No. Yeah, I believe you instantly with that. He stops, looking up. Are we moving? You glance back at the dock, like you hadn't noticed the boat drifting further and further away from it. Oh, I guess we are. You tell me you didn't. You smile, resting your chin in your palms playfully. I may have. Elias makes an indignant little sound, somewhere between a snort and a huff. My ride is here, it's a huff, and I'm leaving in it. Irene? Yes? I have stuff to do. Not anymore, you don't. He opens his mouth, but shuts it again just as quickly. You may not know a ton about Elias's family, but you do know one thing. Elias almost certainly doesn't know how to row a boat. His family has a yacht, but they don't do any sort of manual outdoor activity. They probably think they're above it or something. Either way, you thought up a beautiful exploit. What's he going to do? Jump off and ruin his nice fancy shirt? Unlikely. Now he's stuck here with you. And you're stuck here with him. You awkwardly fumble to pick up the oars and start rowing gently. It's a canoe. It's a canoe. It's a paddle. It's not an oar. All right. Well played. I applaud your masterful deceit. He takes a sarcastic bow. The sunlight reflecting off the water highlights the gentle curve of his cheekbones. I'm glad you appreciate my genius. He looks up at you, expression hard to read. So, what's the plan now? You've got me captive. Indeed, you do. It's a small lake and you're almost at the center. I figured we'd just, enjoy the lake scenery or something. I take it back. Your deceit was not masterful at all. 2 out of 10. Lacks plot. Hey, worked, didn't it? That's big talk from the guy who fell for it. Elias laughs and shrugs. Anyway, just stop for a darn minute and smell the roses, will you? It's beautiful out here. You can do more than just work all day. And that's big talk for the girl who's always got her face behind a camera lens. Oh, you mean like this? You let go of the oars and whip your camera out, pointing it at Elias. He flinches backwards, clearly intimidated by how quickly you managed to pull it out of your bag. Of course, he knows not the secrets of quick draw clips. You deftly adjust the focus and take the shot. Elias only relaxes when you lower the camera to look at the screen. The new photo shows Elias, still clutching the handle of the basket, shoulders raised as if in defense. He looks so silly. It makes memories, Elias snaps out of his stupor. Of course it does. It's a camera. That's what it's for. Well, yeah, but not like that. People say tourists take too many photos and don't actually appreciate what's in front of them. And yes, that is a trap that you can fall into, but the act of carefully choosing the settings, framing your shot, adjusting everything just so, you remember that too. The effort put in solidifies the place in your memory. You wave your beloved DSLR around, especially with an actual camera. I never really thought of it that way. That's kind of why I like it. Even when I first started and all my photos sucked, I liked them because I remembered the moment I took them. It's a process, like a dedication, maybe. to the subject of your photo? Oh, I like that. It's kind of poetic. I wish I had something like that. What do you mean? Oh, it's nothing. I didn't mean to say that out loud. It feels like a touchy subject and you don't want to pry. Well, it's never too late to try something new, you know. Yeah, I suppose. You adjust your position on the bench, fiddling with the hem of your skirt. You glance across at Elias, who seems to be trying to rub some dirt off of his necklace. He looks up, and when his eyes meet yours, it feels like you've been caught somehow. Well, you clear your throat. Anyway, for right now, just take a minute and look. What? Anything. Just appreciate your surroundings. Live in the moment. Look at whatever makes you feel something. Does that mean I can look at you? I? Your voice catches in your throat. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that either, huh? You can forget about it. There's a long pause. You fiddle with the hem of your skirt again. So what are we going to do if the goose comes back? You grip one of the oars like a baseball bat. It's still stuck in the ring, though. Don't worry, your night is still here. Elias laughs, and so do you. The soft timbre of his laughter smooths over the awkward atmosphere. It's nice. Oh, I shouldn't have started a visual novel with a cough. The gentle ripples of the water, the light scattered through the distant trees, the mosquito that is definitely coming for your precious blood. Everything's beautiful. You sit down on your bed, pulling out your camera. You held Elias hostage on the lake for a good half hour at least, but eventually you took him back to shore so he could finish whatever he needed to do. You think you really will set up that canoe backdrop, though. It would be pretty. You flip through your photos. Elias fixing a tablecloth, Liam kick-flipping off the second floor, Angel, or more accurately, Angel's hair, among the grapevine rows, Elias a blur in between two groups of picnickers, Elias shuffling around the volleyball players, Elias in the canoe across from you, a warm smile on his face. Your heart skips a beat, and you abruptly turn the camera off. What? Elias's smile is pretty. You can admit that. He's handsome. You can admit that too. It's normal to get palpitations when looking at a handsome man with a pretty smile. Super normal. You have no concerns about this. No concerns. You return the camera to the safety of its bag and crawl into bed. Memories of the day float through your mind. You pull the blanket over your face as you feel it heating up for what feels like the 10,000th time today. This is comfortable. You're not hiding. Not at all. Knock, knock, knock. You wake up to someone making a ruckus in the hallway. Elias, rise and shine, besties. Apparently, Elias is making the rounds to wake up any lollygaggers. Oh, that really brings me back to high school. You duck your head under your pillow. No time for breakfast. We cracked our eggs too long ago for all that anyways. That's a trans expression, cracking the egg. It's when you first, I think it's when you first realize that you're transgender. With the distraction of all your sexual frustration, regular frustration, you forgot that Elias had warned everyone that there would be a vineyard tour starting at the crack of dawn. It's time to move those gay little legs. You roll out of bed, do your face, and scurry after the group. The vineyard is beautiful, photogenic, romantic. It's nice watercolors. And it goes on for miles. Big vineyard. Okay. Several hours later, you and the rest of the reunion guests shamble back to the lodge, eager for the wine and cheese tasting that Elias has organized. You stare at the table. There's so many plates of food spread across the massive thing, you can't decide what to grab. You look down at the plate in your hand. It's already almost full, piled high with crackers, fancy cheeses, and a variety of fruits. Is there even room for anything else? You push the crackers around. You slide back into place immediately. Looks like that's a no. Yet you continue pushing things around your plate pointlessly, trying to make space for some of the salami. I see you have fallen prey to the buffet trap. You jump a little, but manage to save the grapes that threaten to roll off the upset plate in your hand. Elias, you startled me. Hey, it's a party. There's tons of people here. You can't blame me for letting your guard down. Yeah, shut up. You defiantly grab a piece of salami. Elias just laughs. That stupid, pretty laugh of his. Trying some wine too? Not much of a winery party if I don't get drunk on wine, right? I mean, you don't have to get drunk, but you definitely should have some wine. What do you have there? Red? Carbonara? Or something like that? Carbonara. Pfft. You should have just left it at red. What about you then? Where's your plate and wine, Mr. Buffet wine expert? Oh, I'll eat something later. I've got to help the caterers. What do the caterers need help with? You know, bringing plates out and stuff. What a dodgy answer. So, let me get this straight. 1, you're helping the caterers do a job that you are literally paying them to do. And 2, there's still more. You begin to fear for the integrity of the table. There's no way it can take anymore. It'll collapse. Well, Elias rubs the back of his neck awkwardly. Clearly, he needs an intervention. Too bad the boat trick wouldn't work a second time. Or would it? He'd never suspect you'd do it twice. Nah, that really wouldn't work. Plus, there's food here. Who wants to go out on the lake when there's delicious food to be eaten? I guess I could accidentally spill something on his shirt. Then he'd have to take a break to change. But then what? Do I lock him in his room? Do I lock us both in the room while he changes to extract a promise of non-work from him? Your mind wanders, imagining the scene. There's mustard on his sleeve. He pulls his shirt off to change, but some of the mustard seeped through onto his arm. You lean in to lick. Whoa there. Abort. Let's just stop right there. That was wandering down some kind of path that you do not want to go down. Well, you don't not want to go down it, but your face looks a little red. Did you get sunburned? You glance up at Elias, who's completely unaware of the scandalous nature of your thoughts. Maybe? I think I forgot to reapply sunscreen yesterday. Just roll with it. Don't ask questions. Anyway, try this. You grab a cracker and a random piece of cheese from your plate and shove it with slightly too much force into his mouth. It's clear it startled him, but he manages to regain his composure. Crumbs cling to his lips, some of them falling onto his shirt. This is not helping. I mean, it's pretty good. He chews thoughtfully. But it's a pretty basic combo. Could use some spice. No, it could not. There is already too much spice going on here. Elias glances around the table. Oh, have you ever tried steak tartare? No. What is it? Grinning, he points to one of the fancier plates. A small puck of what looks like some kind of meat patty rests centered on the plate, the raw egg on top dripping down the side. It looks interesting. It is. It's basically just raw beef with spices. Wait, raw beef? Is that safe to eat? More or less, yeah. Obviously, there's always some risk with eating raw meat, but as long as it's prepared correctly, it's fine, generally. How do you prepare it then? It's work for a skilled chef, but basically you start with a very fresh steak, trim off all the exposed sides, then finely dice the rest by hand. And the spices in the egg, and that's it. That's it. That's it. Since the steak is a solid piece of meat, bacteria will only be found on the outside. Once you remove the exposed parts, you can prepare the remaining raw beef inside, as long as your preparation environment is properly cleaned, without introducing new bacteria. Therefore, safe to eat. Or at least, as safe as eating raw meat gets. I see. You want to try some? Fine, I'll try some. I'm not sure about that. Why don't you try it? Do we want to be adventurous? Do we want to be challenging? Do we want to show our hesitation? I don't know. I used to be the sort of person who would never have tried it. Like, I definitely wouldn't have dug the raw egg part. That's a texture problem for me. But I don't know. I guess it would depend on like how much of it you had and what you put it on. But sure, we'll try it. Atta girl. It's good to be a little adventurous. Elias grabs one of the crackers off your plate and scoops a delicate amount of the steak tartare onto it. You take it when he hands it to you. It's a little intimidating. You awkwardly nibble at the cracker, getting only a tiny bit of the meat. It's actually really good. Elias beams. Right? It's unique, but the rawness of the beef makes its flavor shine. It does. Pop the rest of the cracker in your mouth. Your stomach is still a little uneasy at the idea of raw meat, but it does taste good. You call that trying it? Liam appears as if from thin air, sniffing out a challenge that was not issued. I'll show you how to eat this. Liam grabs a handful of the steak tartare. Well, as much of a handful as he can take from the tiny plate. And stares you down directly in the eyes as he shoves the whole handful in his mouth. See? You do see. It's kind of hard not to when there's egg yolk all over his mouth. This is what it means to stay winning! Sure, man, whatever. This is actually pretty good. What is it? Raw steak. Raw. His face contorts just a little. He swallows hard, and it does not seem to ease whatever unpleasantness he's experiencing. I have cool shit I gotta do elsewhere. Yeah, you losers wouldn't understand. He flips you both the bird, but he's scurrying away so fast it doesn't have much punch to it. Well, that went about as expected. Elias laughs, and you can't help but join in. It's nice to see Liam tripping up once in a while. Anyway, there's a nice selection of wines, so have some. I gotta go help with the plates. He zooms off before you can catch him. Darn that sonic speed of his. All I want is for him to take a break. Just tell him he looks as tired as I do. You whip around to see Angel delicately picking at one of the many salad bowls. Oh, Angel, I didn't hear you come up. Z nods quietly. You really think that would work? Words don't seem to sway him much. Angel shrugs. You've been his friend longer. Worth a shot. Yeah. You eat a couple more crackers with cheese. So Z says, but would it really work? I've told him 1,000,000 times that he needs to take more breaks and take better care of himself, and it hasn't worked at all. If only I could show him somehow. Wait, I have a camera. Yes? So your expression implies the obviously that he's clearly thinking. Oh, sorry. I just had an idea. Thanks for your help. Sure. The raised eyebrow indicates he's still a bit confused, but you don't worry about it. You have a mission to accomplish. You set down your plate and take off towards the main building. You're about to push through the swinging door when it swings open first. Oh, what are you doing over here? Don't worry about me. I'm a fly on the wall. Okay. He exits the door with several plates stacked on his arms. He's surprisingly good at this. You pull out your camera and commence with your mission. Elias continues walking, trying to ignore the frequent clicks of your shutter. All right, little fly, why are you taking pictures of me? Shouldn't you be taking pictures of the guests? You are a guest. You know what I meant. Look, you're not paying me to take photos, so the subject matter of said photos is none of your concern. What if your subject objects? Then he can submit an official takedown request to the Bureau of Flies. He can expect a response in 2 to 3 business months. Elias shakes his head, but a dumb little snort escapes. Business months. All right, fine. All right, fine. Keep your secrets. He finally reaches the table and sets the plates down, then turns back to grab more. You follow behind, your trusty camera catching every stray glance. Just then, the sky opens up. Everyone rushes for cover from the sudden torrential rain. Oh no! You have your camera with you, but your lenses? They're all still in your room. You jump up, running back toward the lodge. You only stop running once you reach the door to your room, your hand hesitating over the doorknob. You take a deep breath. You're really hoping that everything's fine, but other areas are leaking, which means even if the hallway isn't wet, you won't know what's beyond this door until you open it. You grip the doorknob, shut your eyes, swing the door open, and take a step inside. Something is wrong. Your foot is wet. You open your eyes and look down in horror to see the carpet soaked all across the room, the bedspread dripping, damp splotches all over the lampshades. Dread seeps into your mind as you investigate, and you quickly realize what happened. It doesn't seem like the ceiling is leaking, but the window. The wind from the storm must have blown it open. You continue your investigation. Luckily, your bags were stored on the upper shelf of the closet and seem to be mostly unharmed. Your precious lenses are safe. You sigh and lean against the wall. What are you going to do now? Knock, knock, knock. Oh. You open the door and there stands Elias. What's going on? He glances behind you, no doubt taking in the remains of the rain-born tsunami. Yeah, that checks out. Don't tell me. Yep, my room is also flooded. You're joking. Afraid not. Looks like the splash zone at a Six Flags water show. Great. What do we do? Well, there is one free room available. I just took a look and it's still dry. We'll have to share, though. Your heart skips a beat. That's fine. Sorry for the inconvenience. Go grab your stuff and I'll take you there. Okay. You grab all your camera bags and a change of clothes, then follow Elias to the free room. You did remember Elias saying something about the honeymoon suite. But why did it have to be the only dry room? Sorry, I know it's a little awkward. It's fine. It is fine. Absolutely fine. Flush in your cheeks is from the wine. Some hazy thought that you want to ease the tension in the air, you unceremoniously drop your bags near the door and grab the bottle of champagne from the gift basket on the table, perching on the table's edge. Let's have some. Haven't you had enough wine today? You drank more than me. Besides, this is champagne. It's different. He definitely looks like he wants to argue, but he shakes his head and lets it go. Probably because you've already ripped the foil off and are struggling with the wire cage protecting the cork. Why do you stick your tongue out when you're focusing? You managed to free the wire cage. An expression of physical effort. I think your physical effort is an expression of your physical effort. Shh. Cork pops free of the bottle with far less effort than you expected and goes flying across the room, just narrowly missing Elias's ear. He throws his hands up, kneeling on the ground. I surrender! Oh, giving in so quickly? Then as your new king, I give you a command. Find me some champagne flutes. Right. Are there none in the basket? You turn to look at the basket. There are, in fact, 2 glasses nestled in amongst the paper shreds. Good work, Elias. You pull the glasses out. It's my pleasure, my king. Your face flushes a little more, and you fumble with the bottle, trying to pour a couple glasses. I have to ask, though. I could have sworn you weren't that drunk just a few minutes ago. Nonsense. You finally managed to pour a glass and hand it over to Elias. He has no proof. I was merely pretending it was but a ruse. Elias takes the glass. Right, to what end, my king? Darn it, you really dug yourself a hole with this one. Worry not what my intentions are. Just do as I command. Of course. What does the king wish, then? Drink with me. All right. You toast your glasses and take a sip. It's pretty good. Would definitely be better if it was chilled. So, have you enjoyed the reunion so far? It's been fun. It would be more fun if I didn't have to keep dragging you away from work every 2 seconds. Elias frowns. Irene. I don't want to hear it. You work too much. Wait. You suddenly remember the pictures you took and you jump up to grab your camera. Elias watches in confusion. Look. Crouch down next to him and hand him the camera. He seems to understand, taking it and beginning to look through the photos. You sure took a lot of photos of me. His expression is somber. I did, because I needed to prove a point. What point would that be? He doesn't look up at you. Look how tired you look. You're totally worn out, and you still won't relax. Angel also told me to tell you that you're starting to look as tired as them. Ouch. Well, got the point across at least. Still, what am I supposed to do about it? There's work that needs to be done. Yeah, and it doesn't need to be done by you. You literally hire people to do a job and then insist on doing their job for them. It's just a waste of money at that point. I half expected you to try and take my cameras so you could do the photography as well. Elias laughs gently. I wouldn't do that. Good. You don't want to know the consequences if you had. Sure. It's just, I feel like I have to, you know? Why? I have to prove that I'm good at my job, that I'm just as good at it as I was before. Before? You mean before you transitioned? Yeah. That was so long ago, though. Who even doubted you in the first place? I've never really talked about it, but... Well, my parents aren't not supportive, but they're not really actively supportive either. What do you mean? When I came out to them, it was kind of a non-issue. It feels stupid to complain about since so many queer kids get treated like shit by their families, but for me, it wasn't a bad thing, it wasn't a good thing, it was just a thing. They accepted my identity and never really said anything negative about it. But me doing anything to be a part of the community or connect with other people like me was met with the usual speech of, make sure you have time for your work. They made it clear that they cared more about me being successful than me being happy, having a community, a support system, or anyone who would celebrate my identity instead of just kind of tolerating it. Oh, it's sad, I know, but I feel like going above and beyond will show them that I'm just as good, better even, than I was before. That this change in my life made me a better person, gave me a better life. But saying it out loud, you're realizing that it doesn't matter, huh? Yeah, they don't care. It's not a part of their life, so at worst, it's an obstacle. And at best, it's nothing to them. You look down at the carpet. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up something painful. No, it's okay. You were right. I'm working myself to death for nothing. My parents don't even really pay that much attention to my life anymore anyway. They just want to hear about my successes when I come to visit. Then maybe you should just tell them about the good stuff only, lie about everything, live your life shamelessly. Live your life shamelessly. Elias laughs. Yeah, maybe you're right. There's no point living my life for people who aren't also living it. Exactly. You hear a buzz and Elias takes his phone out of his pocket. Elias, I swear to God, if you answer that phone right now, I will have you executed. Well, that escalated quickly. He silences the phone and puts it away. And using the Lord's name in vain, tisk tisk. The king does what he wants. Are you a god king now? Even more scandalous. I'll show you scandalous. You stand up quickly, so fast you wobble a little. You reach behind you to grab your dress zipper, but the stupid thing is just out of reach. Who designs these dumb dresses? Need some help? You were hoping this would be a little sexy, but that's clearly a bit out of your repertoire at the moment. Not that it was necessarily even there to begin with. Knight, unzip my dress for me. All right. Elias is laughing softly again, but he stands up to help. Several long moments pass. You don't hear a zipper moving. Elias? This thing. Did NASA make this? What do you mean? I have no idea what I'm looking at. Okay, I know the zipper is hard to reach, but it shouldn't be difficult for someone not wearing the dress. All right, never mind. I got this. Turn back around and take a step back. You contort your arms through the straps of the dress, then start pulling it down from the bottom hem. It takes a couple minutes and a lot of awkward shimmying, but eventually the dress falls to the floor. There, got it. You're maybe a little too proud of this fact. It is at this moment that you remember you're now standing in front of Elias in your underwear. Your very unsexy boxer briefs and old bra underwear. Elias takes in the picture for only a moment before the peals of laughter start, and he sits down heavily on the floor. That's what you wear under a nice dress? It's comfortable, I'll have you know. Well, you were right. You showed me scandalous. Maybe not in the way you meant. Yeah, laugh it up, fuzzball. You sit down next to him. This didn't really go as planned, but honestly, it works. He's having a good time and relaxing, even if it's at your expense. It's always time for other stuff, some other time. Quick, think about something else. I better pre-treat that stain. A big yawn escapes your mouth. Elias finally gets control of his laughter and ruffles your hair. Yeah, but I can take care of that. You should get some rest. He yawns. That's what I thought. It's bedtime for you, too. At least I'm not drunk. I can handle a stain quickly. He moves to get up, and you quickly grab his hand to yank him back down. Don't you dare, mister. If I'm going to bed, you're going with me. You grab one of the blankets off the bed and wrap it around the two of you. All right. He settles down again, leaning into you. We can just rest our eyes for a few minutes and then deal with getting the bed situated. Sounds good to me. Elias rests his head on your shoulder. After a moment, you hear the sound of soft snores. He's already fallen asleep. He must have been tired. He probably hasn't gotten any proper rest this whole weekend. Better not disturb him. Rest your head on top of his and close your eyes. It's quite soothing. You wake up tucked neatly into the giant bed, snuggling something warm. It takes you a moment to realize it. You're lying on Elias's chest. Startled, you jump up, but Elias is already awake. Sorry, I didn't want to wake you. It's okay. You hide the furious blush on your face. I don't mind. My, a Christian girl sharing a bed with an unmarried man. So lecherous. You playfully shove him. Oh, shut up. He laughs and you climb out of the bed to start getting ready. Let's get going. I'm sure everyone will want to see you before they leave. Oh, I'm so tired, though. Hey, I know I said to relax more, but don't swing too far in the opposite direction. But this bed is so comfy. And it's such a long drive home. You live here. But the horse-drawn carriage ride to my quaint cottage down the road is such a long drive home. Yeah, woe is all of us. You grab the blankets and yank them off the bed. Ah, demonio! Who does that? Are you going to speak to your king that way? You strike what you think is a royal pose. Probably falls a little flat in your dumb underwear. Abuse of power. You roll your eyes. Still a king, though. Not a queen? You shake your head. I like king better. My, that's not very heteronormative of you. Well, honestly, I'm not sure I've ever really understood gender. You guys have tried to explain it to me, but it all kind of sounds like nonsense. Not your identity. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, gender as a thing in general. Kind of sounds like you're not so cis as you claim to be. It's just all so complicated. I only care about wearing nice clothes. And masculine fashion is always so sad. Elias laughs. Can't argue that. Some pockets of good aesthetics around the world, but at least over here, it's all just jeans and black shirts. Boring. Yeah, like Indian formal wear for men? Tops. Tops in the world, if you ask me. But, yeah. Jeans and black shirts. Boring. I should show you some traditional Filipino fashion sometime. That sounds fun. Mood is very comfortable, but you really should get ready. You head to the bathroom to get dressed. Looks like that's everyone. What about me? Whoa. Irene, I thought you left already. Huh? My car's right there, though. You point behind you at your car, which has not moved since you arrived. Oh, right. Besides, did you really think I'd leave without saying goodbye? Well, it's like you don't know me at all. I wanted to have a moment alone with you before we parted ways for now. Oh? Now's your chance. Before you second-guess yourself, you lean in and plant a quick kiss on his cheek. You want to hang out on the dock for a bit? Nuh-uh, no way. You're not tricking me again. Aw, come on. Nope. Nice try. Maybe next year, then. Makes you think there'll be a next year. There will be. You smile confidently. Well, I hate to have to go, but it's a long drive home. You sigh. Uh-huh. Your car and my horse-drawn carriage await. He wraps you in his arms. It's a warm, firm hug. Next year, then? Definitely. You say your last goodbyes and head over to your car. You take a last count of all your bags to make sure you didn't miss anything. Irene! You hear Elias calling from across the lot. You poke your head out of your car. Take a look at your camera when you get a second. Huh? Okay. With that, Elias scampers off into the trees, presumably back toward the lounge. You say a quick prayer to keep the goose of the forest out of the road for him. You get back in the car and grab the camera bag in the front seat. Elias was probably talking about the one that you had out last night. You turn it on and flip over to the photo reel. There's a new photo at the end. It's poorly framed and a little blurry, but you can clearly make out a smiling Elias and your own sleeping face leaning on his shoulder. It looks like you're drooling a little. Your cheeks flush, and you whip around, ready to yell after Elias. Elias, you... But he's already disappeared into the trees. What an embarrassing photo. But still, it's nice to have one more photo of his smile. WhatNames, director and producer. Avior, writer, Elias Rout. Oh, I wonder if there are different writers depending on which character you romanced. By you, writer, Angel Rout. Seamus Kelly, writer, Liam Rout. SpookyBot, editor. STEM background and character artist. Really nice. I really like the illustrations. Chris Kirk, composer. Runa Winters, lead programmer. Okay, I'm going to stop reading off the credits. You can read those for yourself. I'm just going to let them run. I like that. I like an otome that's not too explicit. You know, it really focuses on the romantic aspect of it or the attraction of it rather than, being explicit, about what can happen. So, sensitivity consultant. Well, I'm glad they did that. Maybe if there weren't any trans men on the development team, have people to check in with to make sure that they weren't like appropriating things or using terminology that's offensive at this point in time. But yeah, so that was cute. And there's replay value. So because there's two other people you could romance. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. I will please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time, which might not be for a few days because I'm sick. But anyway, still going to work on getting 3 weeks. I've got 2 videos recorded for this week, so I only got to get 1 more in. So to make sure I have enough. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.